Hi there. It is 3:45, so it's time to paint some pumpkins. I am Peggy from Custom Art. Come on and say hi. I'm going to do a couple pumpkins, I think, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to stick with just the cream and kind of the green and browns for today, at least. Bring it up here. Bring some comments up here. There we go. So I have pumpkin trios, and I also have a large pumpkin that I like to get painted today. These trios, I usually put the mesh and the bow on the bottom, but I might just leave one of them plain, just as a door hanger without it. I'm going to start. They all need a base coat for them. So, trios first or the large one? Let's start with the large one. Let's start with that one. Off to the side. So I think I'm going to do the big pumpkin, the white. And then this one is going to have another pumpkin down here. So either like in here, or I'm going to go in probably a smaller one in here. So I just want a base coat of white. Makes it easier when I put the shading on. I think I'm going to go into here. This is kind of how the other pumpkin will be. Painted one coat on these, but they always need a second one. This one's going to be here. Just got to get on the edges. I don't want any of the raw wood. Up here on the top, there's vines. So I'm just going to get all the raw wood painted up here. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's like in between here, there's raw wood yet. I usually use a small roller to roll the base coats on, and it does not fit in there. So I want this part to be brown. So I'm going to get a base coat of that on. And I think I'm going to do in here, I'm going to do a light green so that when I come back with the brown for the vines, you'll be able to see it kind of over. And this is just the background color. I want this to be a mossy kind of pumpkin. Usually I do everything in navy lately, but I have not done a navy pumpkin this year yet. It's really surprising to myself even. So I'm going to do some, these are the leaves. And this is just a base coat. It doesn't really have to be perfect because I have to come back and do another coat and then details. There. But for now, that one is done. And then down here is where the green pumpkin is going to be. It's going to be a darker green pumpkin. So I'm mixing the brown in with my green. So I have a hunter green. And this is just a green onyx. And then we have earth brown. And I'm going to add a little bit of copper in there. But I want to get this mossy looking. So pumpkins are kind of heart-shaped on the top. And then they come down. This one's going to be a little bigger, I think. There, I think that's perfect for coloring. Brown. Get some of the bottom here. Nice chunky pumpkin. There's a little goobery thing in there. Paint seems to always get these boogery goobery things in them. Alright. This. So far that is our first layer. I'm falling here. This is our first layer. So the top one's going to stay white, but it's going to have just a little bit of green with light highlights. So I believe I'm going to start with the big pumpkin. Let's get some more white on there. So I'm going to get a lot of this white on there. It makes it easier to do the blending when there's a lot of paint on here to begin with. I'm only going to do half the pumpkin to start with. Right now that's full of white here. I'm going to pick up a little bit of the green in here. I'm going to go around the edge here a little bit. A little more brown in there. And pumpkins have the vein. So let's put the vein in there. And then I'll go back in my white and blend it. You want to have some nice streaking in there. If you put the paint along the bottom, it like defines where it's supposed to start and stop. You don't got to worry about it if you get into the other pumpkin because you're going to come back and do the other pumpkin again. So I'm going over the edge for the smaller pumpkin. With the white. Brown in there, so we got a little more white. This pumpkin also gets the top on it. So like right in here, you don't have to be perfect because it's going to get the stem. That's the outer edge. It has been a very quiet day today. My little guy is sick, so he hasn't been yapping my ear off, which is very odd for him because usually he's non-stop chatty. I'm not even sure if he's going to come and say hi today. Oh, and you hear that? That is my puppy at the top of the step spot. Pull that into that other pumpkin. Yeah, you hear me, huh? He does not go down the steps. He's a little dog. And I don't usually bring him down here because the kitty cat is down here. And he usually only likes to come down to eat the cat food. Right, so that is it for the larger pumpkin. Let me look this straight on. What we need to fix here. When you're doing those brush strokes, if you get dry, it gets this, I don't know what you call it, a dry spot. So then I like to go back over and fix that. I don't want dry strokes. There. More brown in here, I think. I want this top to be darker. think the key to getting the strokes in is less strokes is the better. Otherwise, you have to add more paint. If you keep doing the strokes, it turns muddy, and we want to see the strokes. So less is better. All right, so let's get this mixed. Good brown. All right, so this is going to be the nice moss color. And once again, I'm going to load up the paint on here. Nice and thick. Yes, Peanut. Mama's on the... I'm on the internet right now, honey.
I do love you.
I love you too, baby.
But it's 4 o'clock.
I know it's 4 o'clock, honey.
So when it's 4 o'clock, that means Daddy's coming home.
Angel's not coming today, baby.
No, it's a Daddy.
Daddy's done in 30 minutes.
And he's supposed to come at 4 o'clock.
I'll pick up a little of the white and a little bit lighter of the green.
Spot.
And that's going to define the pumpkin. A little lighter green in there.
Love you.
I love you too, baby. You okay?
I just want my daddy to come.
Oh, baby, I know. Soon.
He's supposed to come at 4 o'clock.
No, he gets in at 4:30, babies.
It is 4:30.
It's 4.
It's 4:30.
So here is the other pumpkin. A little more in there. More of the dark. There, so let's get some more brown here. And I'd like to add a little bit of the copper in here as well. Just to highlight it. For the stem, go into the brown and the copper. So for now, that's what it's going to look like. I'll come back and I'll add some more to it. now I got some really great colors in the brush, so I'm going to work a little bit on the highlight here. Turn that again. So I'm going to add a little bit more with darkening in here because the pumpkin stem comes down into it. We want the stem to look like it's a part, not just sitting on top. So I'm going to switch brush here. This one's hard. So this is like a swirly vine. Add the copper into there. A little highlight. A little bit of green in there. And it's going to go a little thicker at the top. Add a little bit of the green in there. I want it to kind of look like it's like corded. I don't want it to be just straight. So I'm going to grab a small brush now because I want to make some little curly cues in here. Might have to wait a little bit. It's still very wet, so it's not gonna pick up the coloring very well. So I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna paint the edge here. It's brown and copper. Touched it a little bit right there, so paint the side the green too, so it's not stark white. Peanut. Peanut.
I'm gonna make popcorn.
Okay, well, I'm almost done. Almost.
I'm hungry.
I'm finally hungry today, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, baby. Give me a few minutes, okay?
My head hurts.
Mm.
I'm watching TV too much.
Watching too much TV. That usually does it. So now I'm going to get the darker green on here. So I can define the leaves. Since it is fall, we're going to add some brown into here like they're dying off.
Hi, Mom. I love you.
Oh, too baby.
I just like a little flower and then you like your dad.
No,
Yeah. Hi.
because pumpkins get colorful in the fall, and that's
Yeah.
usually when they're almost, the plant's almost done and it dies. Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. I kind of like pumpkin and green pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
I love you.
Too big. Take a little more of that copper to define the bottom edge here.
Then we sit down on a chair right there by you so I can talk to you.
Edge of the stem. Copper up into there. I'm going to use the copper to make the vein on the leaf too, I think, here. So here is one of the green pumpkins. We got the white with the moss, and then the moss with the white. This is going to need a few more details. I need a little bit more in here when it dries. And then up in here, I need a couple leaves, which I could do a couple leaves right now. Try that. Yeah, it's still really wet, so that is not working well. So once this part dries, I'm going to add more of the curlicues, and I'll add the leaves and finish the stem. And then it's going to get a really good coat of clear coat. Then it gets flipped over, and the back gets, is it white? I need another coat of white on the back, but then I'll be ready. I'm probably just going to put a hanger on this one. Sometimes I put leaves, but since there's leaves on it already, we probably won't need it. But thank you for coming and watching and chatting. Hope you guys like this one. I'll get some more of the trios done too. But thank you all for coming. Have a great day.